Hey everybody, it's Fox with FoxeoGames, and this is a PC port probe for Star Ocean: The Last Hope, the 4K and Full HD remaster. Why did they put that in the title? Anyway, you can see there's some options here, as well as turning off the controller's vibration. You can control camera controls both on the up and down and left and right, Y and X axes. So you can actually control your third-person RPG as if it were a flight simulator. I don't know why you would ever do that, but you can if you want to. Change surround sound and stereo. You can also change individual volume sliders. That's always nice. You can go to the classic style or modern. Obviously, for visual style, you should probably pick modern if you want to enjoy the full benefit of your powerful PC gaming rig. If you're curious what I'm running this on, check the video description. You can choose one of these resolutions. These are the only ones that popped up for me. I don't know if other ones pop up if you're running in a different resolution. Full screen doesn't always work. We'll get to that later, but I do have full screen turned on. I tried turning full screen off and forcing it with borderless gaming. That did not work. Shadows have standard 2x and 4x. Not entirely sure what that means, but hey, you know, choose the biggest number. Hopefully that'll be the best. Couple options for anti-aliasing, which is surprising. I thought this game, if it featured anti-aliasing, would have just on or off, so that's cool. I always turn camera blur off myself personally. Depth of field I had on originally, but I do turn that off. And there was a setting for distance as well. I turn that to max distance. I want to see everything as far as possible. Unfortunately, it's only for characters, so you'll see a little bit later here when we get outdoors that there's actually some really bad texture pop-in. I filled around a little. Oh, by the way, of course, you want high resolution for the texture resolution. Not low, unless your system just can't handle it. I tried fiddling around with the camera controls just a bit. Normal seems to work for me. The camera controls are bad, awkward. They feel, I don't know, I get claustrophobic in small rooms. It just feels weird the way the camera controls work in the game, but that's really nothing to do with the PC port and is everything to do with the original game. That's how the original game felt as well on the PlayStation 3. This is some combat and the battle simulator in the game. As you can see, whether you're roaming around outside of combat or in combat, you're at 60 frames per second. Thank goodness, because in the original game, I do believe it runs at 30 FPS outside of combat. A weird thing that some games actually run at a different frame rate whether they're in or out of combat, but they probably lock it outside of combat just because of the draw distances. The system that you're playing it on, whether it's a PS3 or PS4 or whatever system it happens to be, wouldn't be able to handle those long draw distances when you're outside roaming around. I have no idea how to play the game. Forgive me, it's been years and years and years since I've touched it, and I never played it much back then either. But you can see that it's pretty smooth. It does use an unnecessarily large amount of RAM, it would seem. I'm up to nearly 9 gigabytes, but at 10% GPU usage, I'm getting 60 FPS, 13% when I'm out here, 14% when I get a little bit of a wider viewpoint. Never really see a lot on the GPU usage, and neither CPU usage in as well. So I would expect that, just like what I've seen from the parts that I've played, we will see 0 drops from 60 FPS, at least on my system. Although I will have to say that for whatever reason, it did appear to stutter a little bit. Not entirely sure what that is, so I'm not going to hazard to guess. But you can see as I'm moving forward, there's a lot of texture pop in. Grass, rocks, some elements of terrain detail just pop into view as you're running along. Completely unnecessary given how little of my graphics card and CPU this game is actually using up. So it's unfortunate that they don't have better view distance for the terrain and all the objects in the game, that they just pop up like that in front of you. That is a bummer. Other than that though, the controls seem to work okay. Mouse and keyboard was alright, but again, I don't slight these games too bad for having lackluster mouse and keyboard controls if they're really designed to be played with a gamepad. I think this is best with the gamepad, although can obviously be played with mouse and keyboard. So it is a competent port. It has quite a few options for a JRPG on Steam where you can pick it up, and it sells new for I think $21.99 or $20.99, something like that. Guys, I'm Fox with FoxeoGames. If you like this video, give it a like and check the video description for my social media accounts, and I will see you guys next time.